that I live up to it. I'm going to, first of all, hold up a copy of that book that I never dreamed was going to come to fruition in the way that it has. It is 280 pages, and it is from my abroad journal that I wrote in every single day that we were on the trip. At night, before I put my head on the pillow and said goodnight to the world, the journal was a gift to me by my Sunday school teacher, Mildred Caldwell, and she'd written in the beginning of it to Anne Farley Gaines, one of the finest young people I know. Well, I don't think she knew that many young people, but anyway. It was a gift that I took very seriously. And Meyer Warshawski is someone I also need to thank. He's the father of one of my dearest friends from grade school through the present. And he came to a dinner at our house with his family a week before I left. And he said to me, I told Lois before she went to Europe that she should write one sentence every day, at least one sentence that really encapsulated the spirit of the day. You don't need to write more than one sentence, but it's really good to record your experiences because you'll want to remember them someday. Well, I got carried away and I wrote a whole lot. But I didn't really pick it up until 2024, when my friend Sue Ballinger, who was one of the students on the trip, came to visit me in Chicago. I hadn't seen Sue for almost 37 years. She lives in Sacramento, California. She's a painter and she's also a runner. And she came to Illinois to see a friend of hers who lives in Dixon, Illinois, run the 100-mile race. I can't imagine. Running is not one of my gifts. I'm a swimmer. You know, like growing up near Lake Michigan and all, and you learn to swim at an early age. So anyway, I brought the journal to breakfast every day. Sue's husband was a copy editor for the Sacramento Bee. And Sue met him years before because she was a graphic artist for the Sacramento Bee. And when we got together every morning for 3 days for breakfast and then went out to see Chicago sights and then went to some fancy place for lunch, I never did crack open the journal because we were so busy laughing, talking, reminiscing. And so I thought after she left, you know, I'm gonna type out this journal. And type it out, I did. I worked early in the morning, like 5 in the morning until 7. And then late at night, about 10 until midnight, roughly, for 3 or 4 months until it was all typed out. Then I thought, I better share this with my colleagues. So I wrote all of you who were on the trip, whose addresses I had. And there were 2 people whose envelopes came back, but we can still track them down at some point. And sadly, there are 4 members of our trip who have since passed, but I reached out to their family members, and some of them sent images that they had produced. One of the most recent ones being Peter Ferber, who did some wonderful, you know, watercolors of this area, the campus, that were graphic art and regular paintings. And there were a lot of things in this journal that I never expected I would be showing. Now, what I'm going to be showing you now in this slide presentation is pretty much a full account of the England part of the trip. That was the first part. We went to England, France, Switzerland, and Italy. We traveled first class because Mr. Green wouldn't have it any other way, much to the disgruntlement of several of our parents who were paying the bills. But it did reduce the mechanics of living, and those were his words. We went to England and then France, then Switzerland, then Italy, and I tried to be as thorough in this PowerPoint as possible, just like I've been thorough in this book. But with all due respect, I've gotten through a hefty part of England, and it's done, and France is done. I still have many organized slides for Switzerland and Italy that were to go into this PowerPoint, but I think that you'll be pretty satisfied by the time I get through both England and France. And the rest you can find out through buying this book, if you're so inclined, pre-buying it actually. This is the, my cousin Ellen Sprague is a very, very talented writer, and she taught here in Principia for quite a few years. She is in the audience. Stand up, Ellen, wherever you are. This is Ellen. And her middle name is Farley, which I'm very happy about, like mine is. And she did a superb job of editing this book. When I sent her the journal for fun last fall, she offered to edit it. And I'm so happy she did, because she's just as organized and efficient as I am all over the place. So we were a wonderful team. Anyway, more about the book later, but this is the second proof. Now, we're going to be looking through this together to see if there's anything more that needs to be changed, which there probably won't. And by the first of next week, the third proof, which is what everybody can order, will be underway. Lulu is quick and it's efficient. The color illustrations are extraordinary and they are highly professional. So I would recommend buying this as a nice coffee table. I didn't do it as a moneymaker. My motivation, love. Pure love. For my colleagues, for Principia, for my family, I go into this in the dedication and in the acknowledgments. Now with that in mind, I'm going to begin ripple effects. Just talking to you a little about the contents of this book that is 10 times exponentially more than I expected it to be. And there's going to be also a paperback printing that's going to happen too. I don't know when, but it will happen. All right, so I'll proceed with ripple effects, fruitage from a 1975 study abroad in Europe. This painting is framed and is downstairs. We all 23 of us students, painted 23 sections of it in Rome in 1975, the last stop of our trip. And it was a gift to Mr. Green, who had somehow passed it along to David before he died, before he passed, the wonderful man that he was. And David passed it along to me in 2014 when I came back as a visiting scholar, and students and I produced a mural in Alton. And so I thought the perfect cover for the book was this montage, and the perfect gift for Principia is this. Now with that in mind, fasten your seatbelts, we're going to go on for a little ride. I was kind of surprised that the colors are so technicolor, but that's better than having them be too dull. Several of you must know these kids. You know them? Yes. And I'm not going to call them all by name. If you read the book, you'll see everybody's name in order. And this is our Mr. Green, our dear beloved professor, who had, so much to share with us. And this photo was taken by Carol Carter, a very, very well-known artist who was on the trip, a graduate, and is a good friend. Carol, stand up. And he was sitting and painting in St. Ives, the first step of our journey. And St. Ives is a delightful seaport / fishing village in west of the Cotswold country, and it's on the coast, the west coast. I forget what that area is called.
Cornwall.
Cornwall, yes, that's right.